And Lorenzo, what is there anything that you can add based that hasn't been said already?
Not more, but this is the missing link that we are looking for. And I hope that all other trainers like me come here and study like I did to find it and start this process and build a new building that is training in totally tranquility for the clients and also for the trainer.
Beautiful. And I'm sorry we haven't met yet.
Yes, nice to meet you. I'm Stefano. I'm a strength coach and rehabilitation trainer. And for me, it's the second experience because I went with the guy in September to DNS course part 1.
Was that the sport course or
Yes, the sport one. Yes, and after that course we start using these principles in all our rehabilitation workout, and it gives a lot of tools to help people to release tension, and I think that it is the best way to let people to recover their natural spine.
Is there something more than just going and paying my money and sitting in a room for two days on a weekend and learning how to breathe? It can't be that hard, right? What else are you getting beyond being able to teach your patients, teach your clients how to breathe well?
It's not the breathing, it's just the stabilization that you get out of the breathing. So it's not a breathing course, it's a stabilization course at the higher level. So, it's like if you want to lift heavy weights in safety, then you have to learn how to stabilize and to be protected, and that's the way you have to do it. And if you can't do it, if you're not proficient in doing so, you might just get hurt with a lower weight. So it's like it's a very good integration of being a chiropractor, being a rehabilitation therapist, and being a strength coach.
I think it gives us the baseline to create some athletic moves, some skills, sport specific. Then we can use this baseline of movements to create better basketball player, better athletes. I think better people.
So I came to the course primarily because at TRX we're a movement-based company, so we're just trying to find out what are the cutting-edge approaches to teaching movement, learning movement. Had an opportunity to hear a lot of different people speak. I really was surprised with the detail, but also the practicality of the principles around DNS. And I can definitely tell you that I was doing things both with our gear and just movement in general that I found effective. And I found through this experience some of the explanations why, and then how to actually go back to some of the more foundational or developmental positions, really to work on the breathing to enhance everything else. So I take what I got out of this as a coach, as a physiologist, less as a clinician, as something that amplifies everything that I'm doing with an athlete, with the average person, but then also gives me another common language that I can speak to clinicians so we can have a similar way to approach problems from different angles. So it's easily exceeded what I expected, and I found it as practical as I expected, and probably a little bit more theoretically valid and scientific than I was expecting. So it's been a great experience. As far as being able to teach the techniques, there's definitely some ways to give visual and verbal instructions, but being able to put that tactile cue on there that is very similar to how you would spot somebody in a coaching or in a training environment that's not a clinical touch. So in terms of staying within my scope of practice and understanding where that begins and ends, I was totally comfortable in that. I wasn't trying to touch to relieve pain I was touching to instruct, giving them a tactile cue to move into a touch or to breathe into a touch. So once I get my head wrapped around that, and because you've already built up a good relationship with your client, whether you're spotting them through an exercise to assist with the load or to assist with posture, that just folds right in there. So it was interesting to see how clinicians use touch versus how coaches use touch, but at the end of the day, the principles apply perfectly across, and I wasn't uncomfortable with that aspect whatsoever.